call has been forwarded to an automatic voice message system.
Hey, Jessica? I heard you were moving to another city. Some of our classmates informed me earlier, and I just want to say good luck on your new journey, and I'll miss you. Yeah, cringy, I know. I hope we could have chatted a bit more. But I'm curious. Why are you moving again?
In this night of starry sky, my baby told me with a sigh, saying words that came across as a doubt.
Have you ever wondered why many people leave their hometowns and move to cities, or why some families relocate to different provinces even without leaving the country? This is called internal migration. Today, we will discuss what internal migration is, why it happens, and how it affects individuals, communities, and the country as a whole. Let's start by explaining what migration is and its concepts. Migration is the movement of people away from their usual place of residence to a new place of residence, either across an international border or within a state, which give us the two types of migration: internal, meaning within the country, and external, meaning outside the country. Now that we understand the basics, let's focus on internal migration, which again happens when people move within the borders of their own country, either temporarily or permanently. People don't just move randomly. There are reasons behind it. Some move for better job opportunities, the other for education, family matters, or even environmental factors like natural disasters. And when we talk about internal migration, there are four main forms that help us understand how and where people move. So, let's start with the most common form of internal migration: rural to urban migration. This is the movement of people from rural or provincial areas to cities and urban centers. It is the most common type of internal migration, especially in developing countries. People migrate for better jobs, higher wages, access to universities, improved healthcare, or even just to experience its culture. For example, a student moving from a provincial town in Mindoro to Manila for college. This form occurs when people leave cities to settle in rural areas. It is less common but gaining attention in modern migration studies. People migrate to rural areas for a better quality of life, seeking a slower pace where they could take their time and fully commit to what would be a peaceful life. For example, a couple moving from Quezon City to a provincial town in Batangas to escape city congestion. This is the movement of people from one city to another city. It often happens for career advancement, business expansion, or educational specialization. People migrate between cities to access better employment opportunities or specialized industries. For example, a nurse moving from Davao City to Manila for higher paying hospital work. This is the movement of people from cities to rural areas or provincial areas. Although less common than rural to urban migration, it has increased in recent years due to lifestyle changes, remote work opportunities, and the rising urban living costs. People migrate to rural areas for lower living expenses, a quieter environment, family reconnection, or agricultural opportunities. For example, a professional leaving Metro Manila to settle in Batangas to work remotely while managing a small farm.
When Alexa asked me why I moved, I realized that people don't just wake up one day and then randomly decide to leave. Internal migration happens because of influencing factors. These are the reasons that push people away from where they are and then pull them towards somewhere new. There are different factors that affect why people move. First is economic factors. Many people relocate because they're looking for a better job, opportunities, higher income, or more stable careers. When opportunities are limited in one place, people are naturally drawn to areas where growth is possible. Sometimes, moving is not a choice. It's a necessity for financial stability. The second one is education. It is when students move cities or other provinces to attend better schools, universities, or specialized programs that are not available in their hometown. Families often see education as investment in the future, so they are willing to relocate to access better learning opportunities. Third, social influence. Decision can also be shaped by family, friends, or even the environment we grow up in. When people around us talk about opportunities somewhere else, or when relatives have successfully migrated, it can always influence how we view the idea of moving. When people around us talk about opportunities somewhere else, or when relatives have already migrated successfully, it can always influence how we view the idea of moving. The last one is digital and media influence. In today's society, social media play a huge role in shaping perception, seeing different lifestyle, job opportunities, or online campuses can make other places look more accessible and appealing. It expands our awareness beyond our hometown. In conclusion, internal migration happens because people are searching for improvements varying from economic growth, educational advancement, better living condition, or personal development. In my case, moving isn't just about living. It's about choosing a place where I can grow, learn, and find opportunities.
Now that we understand what drives migration, let's talk about its effect and the risk that comes with moving. Internal migration can bring both opportunities and challenges. As I said earlier, some effects are positive and there are also potential risks we should consider. First, economic risk. Moving to a new city or province can mean higher living expenses, the struggle of finding stable jobs, or earning less than expected. For instance, a student relocating to Manila for college might struggle to pay rent or daily expenses while balancing their studies. Second, social and family-related risk. Relocating may strain the relationship to create a feeling of isolation. Student may miss support of family or friends, and adjusting to a new community can be stressful. Educational risk. The quality of competitiveness of or availability of the program in the new location may be different from what students expected. This can affect academic performance and create pressure to succeed. It's important to note that every factor discussed earlier is a risk. For example, social media and digital community connectivity help shape perception of migration and prepare students, but they do not directly create negativity outcome. They guide expectations, showcase opportunities, and can even help students prepare, but they do not cause tangible negative outcome. Now, let's see what the data tells us about students perceive this task.
Earlier today, I left a voicemail for Jessica, asking her why was she moving in the first place. And hearing her reason got me thinking, Jessica isn't moving just for fun, but for herself. There are new experiences, opportunities, and a life that she could have had if she stayed home. And for a student like her, someone who understands the factors and risk of migrating, this wasn't a rushed decision. It was something she thought about carefully, something she chose with time, awareness, and a clear understanding of herself. So, to all the students watching, stay curious and be prepared. Look for reliable information, understand the cost, the social challenges, and know what school will really be like. Then choose what aligns with your goals and who you want to become. And to our teachers, this is your moment too. Bringing real stories about migration into class, whether it's social sciences, economics, or even during advisory sessions, can really make a difference. Using real life examples helps students think more deeply about change. This is how lessons stop being just topics and start becoming more that actually matters. And to the parents and guardians watching, have open conversations with your child. Talk with them. Listen to their plans. Then share your guidance about family, finances, and school. Help them see both the challenges and the possibilities so they can make decisions with confidence. And schools don't have to stay on the sidelines. They can host workshops, guidance talks, or simple seminars that give students the tools to plan ahead. And sometimes all it takes is the right information at the right time to help someone make a smart decision. And for the future researchers out there who are studying this topic, there's still so much more to explore. Like, how do students adjust emotionally? How do they adapt to new cultures or academic systems? And the more we study migration from different angles, the better we can support those who experience it. So, what's really the lesson after everything we've talked about? Let's keep it simple. First, awareness is key. When students truly understand the risk of migrating financially, socially, academically, they don't just move blindly. They think. They ask questions. They weigh their options, and that awareness turns a risky decision into a thoughtful one. It doesn't remove the challenges, but it prepares your mindset for one. Next, preparation is power. It's one thing to know what might go wrong, but it's another thing to actually prepare for it. Like saving money, researching schools, talking to people who've already experienced the move, building coping strategies before you even leave. When you prepare, you're not just reacting to problems. You're staying one step ahead of them. And finally, support system matters. No man is an island, they say. No one grows alone. And it's different when there's friends who checks in on you, family who guides you, and even teachers who advise you. Even online communities that remind you you're not the only one adjusting to something new. Change feels less scary, less overwhelming when you know that there's someone to catch you when you're gonna fall. Well, I hope you all remember what we talked about, because at the end of the day, migration isn't just about changing locations. It's about navigating change. And change is always easier when you're informed, prepared, and supported.